Hey everybody, welcome back to Just the Best Partz. I'm SP and I'm back in the chair where I celebrate Star Wars culture and fandom with quick, thoughtful content absolutely infused in a unique visual and sonic experience. Today I'm launching Rebel Rising, a new series exploring what drives Andor's characters through the lens of rebellion and the events that ignite the spark of open conflict against the Empire. To start, we're climbing into the head of Cassian Andor, the people and events that shaped his worldview, and what we can piece together about his journey leading into Season 2. And with that, thanks for stopping by Just the Best Partz, the channel with a different vibe. Sit back, enjoy, and as always, it's time to star Wars! Cassian Andor is unlike any Star Wars character that has come before. He's enigmatic, a loose cannon to some, a mystery wrapped in moral ambiguity to most. Star Wars has long been a saga of clear-cut heroes and villains, but Cassian inhabits the murky in-between, a man shaped as much by necessity as by ideology. He's an everyman, conflicted, heroic, deeply flawed, yet undeniably essential to the rebellion's fight against the Empire. Cassian's journey begins on Kenari when he's just a child, growing up among a tribe of orphans left to survive in a world scarred by Republic mining. Even at a young age, Cassian, then known as Kassa, feels an instinctive need to protect his sister, Kerri. To prove himself worthy of that responsibility, he joins the tribe's search party for a downed Republic ship, hoping to take his place among the leaders one day. But when the tribe's leader is killed, his fragile world collapses. Amidst the chaos, Kassa's fate is sealed. While exploring the wreckage, he is taken by Maarva and Clem Andor. In that moment, Kassa ceases to exist. Cassian is born into a life of regret and uncertainty, forever searching for a sister he will likely never find. For Cassian, the crashed ship represents an invasion, the uniformed gunman a bringer of death and destruction. And when Maarva takes him, he is utterly without agency, powerless to return home, and powerless to save Kerri. This is not just a tragic loss for Cassian, it's the moment that fractures something inside him. From that day forward, he carries a single unshakable lesson. Authority cannot be trusted, only used.
They're so fat and satisfied. They can't imagine it.
Can't imagine what?
That someone like me would ever get inside their house, walk their floors, spit in their food, take their gear.
In these formative years, his war is not ideological. It is raw, personal, and feral. This is why Andor Season 2's potential exploration of Kerri is so compelling. Tony Gilroy initially planned a significant storyline for her in Season 1, but it was ultimately cut, a decision that only underscores its importance, not just to Cassian's past, but to Gilroy's broader vision of the character. If Kerri's story remains in play, as I hope it does, we can expect a powerful emotional reckoning for Cassian in the upcoming season. If Kerri represents Cassian's unhealed wound, then Maarva and Clem Andor are the forces that shape his understanding of resistance. On one hand, there's Clem. Clem is a survivor, the perfect gray man, unseen, unobtrusive. He teaches Cassian restraint and how to avoid attention. But the Empire does not reward restraint. It punishes even the slightest dissent. And when Clem attempts to de-escalate a public protest, the Empire executes him, hanging him for all to see on Rick's Road. Cassian, once again, witnesses an important figure in his life destroyed by authority. It's a defining moment, one that leads him to attack Clem's Imperial murderers, further cementing his hatred for those in power. Maarva, on the other hand, does not teach Cassian merely to survive by keeping his head down. She plants the seeds of resistance through both word and action. She does not seek to coexist with the Empire nor the Pre-Mor Authority. She openly despises them both, and more importantly, acts out against them. She resists Cyril's goons, attempts to open the tunnels beneath the hotel to provide rebels with access, and refuses to leave home despite the consequences. Her argument with Cassian about this is a pivotal moment, whether he realizes it or not.
You can't stay, and I can't go.
Maarva chooses to stay because fighting back matters more than her own life. And in the end, she does just that. Her final words, broadcast to Ferrex, do not merely call for rebellion, they ignite it. In this final showdown, Cassian casts off his trouble past once and for all. Rather than save himself as he easily could, he chooses to rescue Bix and the others, getting them off-world to safety. He then places everything on the line with Luthen, literally giving him power over his life in order to join the rebellion. And although Maarva and Clem are gone, their lessons leave an indelible mark on Cassian. And I suspect Luthen will provide Cassian with yet another lesson in Season 2, betrayal. Luthen has already shown that he is not above sacrificing others for the cause, as evidenced by his willingness to let Anto Krieger and his men die to protect his ISB informant. But in the end, Luthen himself may find that Cassian's loyalty is not unconditional. With Cassian, FAFO is not just a slogan, it's a promise. Nemik is unlike anyone Cassian has met. He is young, idealistic, and deeply intelligent. He knows that tyranny is inherently fragile, that it survives not by its own power, but by the obedience of those beneath it. And he believes with absolute certainty that oppression always breeds resistance. When Nemik dies after the Aldani heist, it becomes yet another brutal reminder to Cassian of the cost of this fight. Another example of death at the hands of authority. His manifesto matters not because it convinces Cassian to join the rebellion, but because it gives him the language to articulate what he has already lived. He sees himself in its pages. Kenari, Aldani, Ferrix, Narkina 5. Each experience has reinforced the truths that Nemik so carefully lays out. This is significant. Up until now, Cassian has learned to hate authority through suffering and loss. But this is different. Nemik's death is not just another personal wound. It represents something bigger, an idea. I hope to see and hear more of Nemik's wisdom in Andor Season 2. Perhaps it's his manifesto that serves as the ideological backbone of the rebellion, its words inspiring the Gorman uprising, or becoming a rallying cry for those who seek freedom. Cassian may not have believed in the rebellion when he first met Nemik, but by the time he truly reads his words, he is already living them. That concludes our character study of Cassian Andor's journey from troubled wanderer to rebel leader. His story is one of survival, sacrifice, and the choices that define a hero. I hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you for joining me here at Just the Best Partz, where we celebrate that galaxy far, far away, one story at a time. So stay tuned for fresh, engaging weekly Star Wars content to feed your eyes, ears, and mind. Until next week, don't get on Cassian's bad side, and as always, may the Force be with you.